Welcome to Will's Personal Development Podcast, where we bring you data and science-backed answers and advice from billionaires. What is up, everyone? My name is Will, and welcome to episode 0 of Will's Personal Development Podcast. This episode is specifically made for new listeners of this show, and it's intended to really explain why this show is different and why you should watch this one. So there's a number of reasons, but I want to start with the most important. This show is different because we will focus more on quality versus quantity. And that is specifically because as of right now, 99% of the shows out there, they're really focused on interviewing other people and spamming and churning out a lot of interviews, either daily or weekly. And they oftentimes have a very broad spectrum of guests on there. And the problem with that is, first off, you're overwhelmed by information. But second off, it's not always the best advice you can get. And bad advice is usually the most expensive advice in terms of time and money that you can take, because you're going to waste a lot of time doing what you shouldn't be doing. And so, for example, and again, I'm not bashing anyone here, but I just want to give you an example. You have these big podcasts like Tim Ferriss, and he's more so focused on, optimizing his whole life, and he's really into becoming a spy and being a James Bond / Jason Bourne type character and learning a bunch of languages and hacking his life. And that's fine, but that's not what we're going for here, because I see no value in learning spending another year learning another language. Like, why? What's the purpose of that? Does that make me more money? Not exactly. I don't need to learn how to speak Greek or whatever language, Japanese. So on top of that, he also interviews tons of guests, and it's just a bunch of people that I personally don't see value in. Not saying that there's no value in these people. It's just that for me, I don't really need to learn how to play chess better. That's great having a grand chess master on. And again, I love listening to his podcast, and I love learning about chess. In fact, I watch a lot of chess videos for fun. But in terms of productivity and getting the most bang for my buck and getting closer to my goals and finding those shortcuts to getting there, my goals are not in alignment with how to learn better chess, how to do this or that to, become a spy, or learn a different language, or break a Guinness World Record. Usually a lot of people who break Guinness World Records don't make any money from it. So that's kind of like the angle I'm getting at here. For this podcast, we're focused on specific goals. One would be studying specifically people who are really good at making a lot of money. And we start straight at the top, billionaires. And we're also really focused on narrowing down to your specific area. So let's say you are in the coffee business. Well, Howard Schultz, he has written a couple books on how he built Starbucks from this one-store coffee shop into a multi-billion-dollar empire. Same thing for a lot of different industries. And so we're focused more on niching down towards the best people you can get advice on for a specific topic. And so let's just say you want to be good at running a discount retail chain. Sam Walton's your guy. Let's say you want to be the next producer who is the best in the world at spotting music talent. Well, guess what? L.A. Reid, who has pretty much discovered every single successful person from Usher to Lady Gaga, etc., Justin Bieber, he wrote a book on the topic. So part of this podcast is directing you towards where you want to be directed to. And I think part of this positioning is it's first off practical value in this world of information overload. and really focusing. And then the second is really deciding, okay, what is everyone else doing that we won't do? And everyone else is kind of just, hey, this is a, business strategist coach. He might make $1 million. He makes a lot of money, but I'm not telling you how much he makes. He could be making like 100,000 a year, $1 million a year, or be completely broke. I don't know, but we're interviewing him. And so it's one of those things where we want to start straight from the top. We want to start with people we can trust. Why listen to some random person when you can learn from all these books by billionaires like Richard Branson, who made a lot of money. And so that's one big aspect of the show. Now, another huge part of this show is the values and core ideas. And what I mean by this is that we're really focused on ethics. We're focused on true success. And I define true success as beyond just making money. There's happiness. There's fulfillment. There's having a job or career or business that you're really passionate and interested in, where work becomes play. It's about having something that fulfills you and has an impact beyond just money. It's about not having to destroy your health, your relationships, or sacrificing those things needlessly in the pursuit of money. And this is a core aspect of my show because a lot of entrepreneurs, and I see this almost every day, and you can see it too if you just listen to a few interviews of successful people. Every single day, a new person comes out saying, I finally made all this money and I still feel unhappy or unfulfilled. And that's one of the huge critical elements that, for some reason, despite it popping up so often, it still happens. And I think one of the big reasons is simply because most people don't bother to read books, listen to podcasts, or any of this. And because of that, they end up learning the hard way. I guarantee you there's some rapper out there who will one day be successful, but right now is just pursuing his success. And one day he's going to be rich and a millionaire, but he doesn't listen to this stuff, and he'll get there one day and he'll be like, I'm making all this money, but for some reason I'm still not completely happy or fulfilled. And he'll ask questions like, is this all there is to life? What's my purpose? And all those other things. And this podcast really will try and open that up. Now, on top of those core values, of course, I'm going to really open the can on a lot of really profound and interesting thoughts and topics that most people never really discover until late in life. Some never do because they never get to that point of discovering them. And there's all sorts of good tidbits that you're going to learn, like why exactly certain people succeed and why certain people fail. And by success and failure, I mean more than just money. Yes, money is a part of success. Without money, you can't pay for your hospital bills. If your family gets cancer or some illness, you can't pay for it. It's a part of success, but it's not the whole aspect. And what I mean by success is, why do some people love their job, achieved all their goals in life, make a big impact, do not have toxic mental attitudes towards life, do not, tear people down, kill others? Why are they fulfilled in every area of their life? They have people that love them, that they want to love them. They have succeeded in their dating life. They have a fit body. They have all this wealth in their life, and so on and so forth. Why do these people get to their goals and make billions of dollars, while the rest of us struggle with just juggling one or two of these things? We can't even make enough money to support ourselves, or maybe we can, but we're still struggling in other areas, and we're just unsatisfied, unfulfilled, or we don't have the people we want in our lives. So this is a very interesting podcast, and I really think it will provide a ton of value for you. Of course, there's all sorts of other minor values and core beliefs and goals that are a part of this, but those will come out naturally, and you'll slowly start to identify what purposes and values and differentiators on top of those that I already mentioned are by just listening to a few episodes of this podcast. They will naturally come out. You'll naturally identify them and see them, and you'll get a sense of where I'm going with this. And so really stay tuned, and thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you guys like this, and make sure to hit the subscribe button and leave a review on iTunes. Go ahead and leave an honest review. Again, I'm not influencing you to leave a 5-star review or anything like that. Simply leave your honest feedback, 1-star or 2-star or 5-star, whatever you want on iTunes, and that will help us get noticed for people who listen to podcasts. And yeah, if you're a helpful person, please do that, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening. Peace. Thank you for listening to Will's Personal Development Podcast. You can find more at willyoulaugh.com.